Explosion! Everyone just...
No, Joe. Implosion. Implosion. Guys, we just got back from the underwater thriller Underwater.
Which took place
underwater. Just so that you're clear what movie we saw. Starring Kristen Stewart, T.J. Miller, and a bunch of other people.
Yes.
And, you know, so I saw the trailers for these towards the end of last year. I was actually very, very excited for this. I was like, this looks like fucking aliens underwater. Let's say it. Let's say it right now. And I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of, you know, sort of the Abyss and even crappy ones, Leviathan that you saw and stuff like that. So I was kind of excited. The only thing is, this thing came out in January, and we know that's
horror movies in January.
Likely where horror movies can kind of stumble. So this is an underwater thriller with creatures. They do kind of do a little horror, do a little aliens. And so should you go and see this? Oh, man.
If you want to see a horror movie and your choices are The Grudge and Underwater, I would
go Underwater.
Say Underwater.
Underwater.
But
I really wanted to like this more than I ended up liking it. There are several missteps throughout the adventure. Then just an ending that's like, what? Really? Oh, man. And then this heavy-handed message. Look, I'm pretty, you know, open and, you know, progressive kind of guy in terms. But this one, I guess the environmental message was a little, you know, much for me here. I felt like I was being preached to a little bit, and I just went for entertainment's sake, man.
Yes.
And what I will say here is, guys, this movie makes me excited. They can fucking do a StarCraft. Did you see the fucking suits
That's
they
what I was
were
thinking
wearing?
about. I was like, man, that is
so badass, and they look good. In fact, they can do a Warhammer movie. If you're a fan of StarCraft or Warhammer, I want you to see this film at some point, just so you can see the armor, which was the coolest part of the movie for me, other than the concept. The concept is cool as fuck, too. Yeah. I'm all down for, you know, aliens underwater. That's not what it is, but you know what I mean. Kind of a mimic of that. I kept getting moments of XCOM, Terror of the Deep. I fucking love XCOM. I love this. So basically what I'm trying to say is everything was set up for Angry Joe to fucking love this thing. And I tried, too. But the execution a little bad. What did you guys think?
I'm the same boat with you. Like, I wanted to like it. I was like, all right, look, it's going to be kind of campy and cheesy. I know what I was getting myself into, but it started off good. I was like, all right, let's see where this goes. And then I kind of started getting bored.
Yeah.
I was getting
bored.
There were
several missteps in Act 2.
Yeah, and, like, they try to kind of get you, like, oh, I feel for this guy. But there was no dynamic between anyone. My favorite character was obviously T.J. Miller. He was the best one. He would do the same thing in my situation, like, from time to time.
Yeah.
So I really...
cut the tension with comedy jokes.
Yeah.
TJ was cracking jokes all the time. Not all of the jokes initially land in this film.
I'm going to close the door. I think I should close the door.
I'll close the door. Yeah, there's some that do land, granted.
Yeah, he was funny.
It's very...
Okay, what did you think, Alex?
I started out really liking it. And actually, there were some really scary things that were, like, tailor-made for me.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of them crawling around through the wreckage. And, you know, Kristen Stewart's
Real
this
tight
big.
spaces.
And T.J. Miller is, like, a man of my size. And so he's looking down there, and he's like, I'm going to get stuck. It's like, no, don't do it. You're going to get stuck, and you're going to die. And I would get stuck, and I would die, and it would be terrible. And then they went to the monster thing. I didn't give a shit.
Right.
And I was like, bring back them getting stuck in places.
Bring back the spelunking.
Yeah, because there was a lot of tension there. You didn't know what was going to happen. The place is falling apart. And when the monsters show up, like the monsters, spoilers, there's monsters, right?
Yeah,
they're
seen
it in the trailer.
They're insanely strong because they're underwater. You know, Aquaman rules apply. You see them like do all this crazy stuff, and then sometimes they attack and sometimes they don't, and then they're just kind of like, I'm just going to do this to scare you real quick, and I'm going to run away. It's like, why?
Yeah.
And then there was no tension there because of it.
Right. And the movie succumbs to some tropes, and it really sticks to the formula there. It was fun. I understand what kind of movie this is, and I wanted to roll with the punches. You know, it's kind of fun to figure out who's going to die. Is TJ going to die? Is Kristen going to die? She's the main character. Is the captain going to die? Everybody who you think is going to die, there were no surprises for me. It was not surprising. I knew how this was going to go.
Yeah, you looked over like this was going to happen. It's like, I hope not, but we'll see.
And I was right. Wasn't I, Joe?
Yeah.
And so here's the thing is that, and then as it goes on, you're like, oh, I see what this is. Here comes the messages. This film... Message, sir. What's that from? The mailman.
Monty
Wayans.
Yeah, it's from. No, it's
Message.
Oh, you know.
That's the Joe.
Don't drink orange
Don't drink
juice.
OJ in the hood. Don't be a menace to society while drinking OJ.
Like
Anyways, guys, so what I was picking up on is, a lot of female empowerment, and and then also we shouldn't be here drilling.
Your head was in like
Don't
you're in the,
you fucking drill?
I'm thinking Mines of Moria the entire time. They dug too deep. They were too greedy. They went down there, and then the Balrog comes out of the thing. Yeah, so like I wasn't going like environmental. I was like, these are just like
it's totally
environmental.
Yeah,
it's like
if that went over your head, Alex,
I just didn't care. Like
I
mean,
but she just says like, "Oh, we took too much."
They beat it over the head. They could have been more subtle, and then I would have been in your area. But I was like, okay, guys, I got it. Don't drill. Look at this drill. Oh, we're planning on drilling over here and drilling over here. Oh my God, we've unleashed something. Oh, we deserve this. I'm like, goddamn. But what I'm saying, I mean. That doesn't bring the score down quite as much as I'm making it out to be,
it
at
doesn't
least
affect
for
my
me,
score at all.
right? But it is a little annoying. More so, the problem that I had with it is I understand we're underwater. I understand there's a lot of sand underwater, a lot of dirt and kicking, and it's very difficult to see.
There's a lot of little chunkies in there.
Little chunkies. But the fact is, I'm watching a movie. I'm trying to get some enjoyment out of your film. You want to show – there were moments perfectly set up where it's like, oh, fuck, I can't see shit. And the character's like, I can't see shit. And the audience is like, I can't see shit. But when you do that for 2 hours – Now you have
and
a problem.
The audio,
right?
That's another thing too.
Yeah,
right. And the other,
the person next to me, like loudly to the friend, is like, I can't understand anything that anyone is saying.
Kristen Stewart and this initial guy at the beginning where the station is breaking up. Their dialogue is muffled, rushed, and you can't hear it. Luckily, it's not like that the whole time. But here and there, you'll get some of that. But what I'm saying is, after you establish that it's hard as fuck to see and you actually show the audience that it's hard as fuck to see, later on, lighten up a little bit because you're really hiding some expertly done work and CGI, and it really looks good.
Yeah, parts
that
of the
is the best part. One of the best parts of the film is that it looks great. Did you guys? What do you guys think?
I thought it looked really good. I think the biggest problem that I had was actually the pacing because it starts off really fast. You get into the story. They're not setting up with like a lot of weird exposition.
What you see in the trailer happens immediately.
Immediately, right? Yeah, so things start happening, and then we get to this point where it's like, man, we're on a breakneck speed. This could be really cool. And then you hit this screeching halt, and you just... All right, now what? And then not only did the story stop, but you being able to watch the movie stop because that's when they get underwater and there's the chunky things are floating everywhere.
You see, in Aliens and in films like that, you can follow along and you know where the crew is, and there's constant establishing shots, letting us know where we are, where we need to get to, and where we're going. In this film, you have no idea where you are on the station, how this station relates to that other station, or the same station and the next station.
Well,
there's
they told you
different
the plan,
stations,
so you have to know the plan too, all right?
And I'm not sure if that was, a director's decision, like I want to disorient the audience. I want the audience to not be able to see shit when the actors can't see shit. But I think it was the wrong choice, and it disengages the audience just a little bit. Now, maybe they were hiding, and that was intentional so that they can do the big reveal at the end, and they do show off a little bit more of these creatures and a big reveal towards the end. But by then, it's like, oh, you've squandered a little bit of what's going on.
Just because it was intentional doesn't mean it was good.
Right. So, honestly, we can keep this one short.
Yeah.
Performances. Well, how do you think Kristen Stewart? We ain't seen her in a while.
We missed Charlie's Angels.
She did a fantastic job.
Oh, right. Okay. So she did a fantastic job, says Alex. Did you feel like they were doing a Ripley? Obviously, they're going to compare it.
I honestly thought they were going to do that.
They do have her running around in her panties sort of at the beginning a little bit, and then they're like, oh, was that not enough panty for you? Let me make sure that we give you plenty more panty. And then at the end is Panty City.
They had to fit in their suit.
Yeah, everybody take their clothes off. Anyways, so, you get a little bit of that. So I saw parallels to that.
I think all the acting was, like, average.
You didn't like what she did? I think she...
Nah.
No. I did.
You thought you did
I
well.
thought she did a really good job. She was, like, shooken up the entire movie. Like, she was visibly shaken. Like, her speech patterns changed a little bit. I mean, look, she's not going to get an Oscar for this. But, I mean, like, compared to everyone else in this movie, she was, like, stellar.
Yeah. I think TJ,
he's
did
the
a
same
little better in the sense that would be me.
He has
in the
one
situation.
character though.
He's the same as That's his thing though.
Right.
He's
He's
good.
like
I
The
love
Rock
him.
and Kevin Hart.
He hadn't been around for a while because like allegations and stuff. They kept him. I don't know if they delayed this movie and dumped it in January just for that. I hope not. But what I want to say is there's just some cool concepts here, some really great sci-fi suits and set design. Let me give all the praise to the set designs and the idea. Just 2019 getting an Abyss, getting a Leviathan. I wanted like motherfuck to love this film. My bad. 2020.
It's going to happen for a couple. Yeah.
But unfortunately, it does have issues. Still kind of working it out in my head. Let's go to final verdicts, and then we can talk spoilers. Final verdicts, guys.
Okay, I think I liked it a little bit less than you guys. I did like the beginning. It had me going. Like, I like the tension that was there. Yeah. My thing is, like, I hate tight spaces and, like, dark waters. That freaks me out. I wish it would have played more on that, but once that happened.
So it sounds like it's tailor-made for you.
Yeah, in the first 15 minutes. The first 15 minutes. And after that, like, you were just trying to get something going. They were like, all right, well, let's talk about this person. But at that point, you're like, oh, you got to feel sorry for him. This happened to this. Like, no, I don't care about these characters. Okay. And at the end, it was kind of cheesy. But I'm going to give this a 4.
Ooh, slightly below average. You got those 4 points for some good things here.
Yeah, those some good things. Okay. I love the set. That looked pretty cool. The armor was so badass.
So fucking cool, man. Yeah. Please, somebody. Like, it makes me mad. Like, if this is what we got from this film, I wish we would have taken this budget and gotten a gotten a Warhammer or a StarCraft. What do you think?
This is hard because there's parts about this movie that I absolutely loved. I do love the setting. I think this had a ton of potential.
It did.
It started really strong. Like, I really liked this movie in the first probably 20, 30 minutes. And then
like when they're walking and their bare feet and it's got that danger.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of things that were really cleverly done. And then stuff started happening that just almost pulls you out of the moment where they all have the ability. They punch like a computer to open it up. And he's like, I got to hack the mainframe and connect the gigawatts to the gigabits. And then it's like, oh, cool, I hacked the door. It's like, this added nothing to the scene. We don't need any of this stuff. Just hit the button, open the door, and like move on with these things. So they kept falling into these problems where, they assembled the perfect team of 5 people that all have like wildly. There's 312 people that live on the station. They have the engineer.
Damn, you were paying attention.
Yeah, I was paying attention. The electrical engineer, or she's a mechanical engineer. She lives. The biologist lives. Her husband, that's like the sound guy, lives.
Is that her husband? There was like no chemistry.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No fucking idea.
She really loves him. That's why the whole movie happened.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Are you trying to spoil the movie, motherfucker?
No.
What'd you say?
That's why the thing happened.
The thing happened. Okay, good.
Yeah. So all of these things are really, really convenient in the way that things kind of play out. And then there's the scenes from Prometheus where you have the biologist. There's a brand new species. You've never seen it before.
It looks like
science. And I'm going to take my glove off. And I'm going to
come on.
I'm going to start touching it. It's stupid.
No,
it is horrible and stupid.
You're right.
The Prometheus scene was stupid, and this was just as bad. She's like, I'm going to touch this
Alien
thing.
Stupid? You're going to say it was stupid in Alien?
Was there a biologist in there that knows dangerous animals?
Sure, yeah. Alien. They stuck their face in it. And then in Aliens, they stuck their face in it. That one I don't mind. I'm like, all right. But and you don't mind it if everything else was great.
Yeah,
you know
it was falling
But
apart
you're
by
gonna
this
forgive it.
time. So I was at like a 7, and then we hit a 6.
Okay.
And then we hit a 5, and then the end happened, and I was like, wow, there's some really cool parts about this thing. Like this, I think this movie's almost worth watching.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna agree with him that the ending just kind of spirals out of control. It falls just below average. Now, below average overall for all movies. For a January horror movie, this is like 8 out of 10.
Don't do that, Alex.
But it's not. It's a 4.
He's an asterisk. Another asterisk.
Look, he was at 6 and he dropped to 4. You influenced him, Joe.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, you're a bad influence on
I didn't do anything.
All right, guys. Okay, so my final rating for this one, I was with you, where we're up here around 6. You can't give this no more than a 6.
Yeah.
And I kind of agree. I mean, we made some good points there. God, I just want to give it above average for the set design, the concept,
Yeah, it had
the suits.
the
But
potential.
when a good portion of the movie is difficult to see, pacing problems, heavy-handed messages that are unnecessary and distract from the entertainment value, the lack of chemistry,
characters.
the lack of the fact that I didn't give a shit. I was there for the visuals and the concept. And how much points can I take away? How much points does that earn? I'm with Alex. We're at 6. We're falling. It's like an elevator. There's a moment in the film where there's a thing falling and they're trying to hit the brakes. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to hit the brakes, motherfucker.
I want to like it.
I want to, and I think just because I'm a massive fan of sci-fi, I'm going to give you 2 whole points just to prove the fact that those suits work. I don't want to ever hear any Hollywood executive say, no, those StarCraft suits are too bulky, it'll never work on screen. Those Warhammer suits, 40K suits, too bulky, it'll never. Underwater. They're like, that film was terrible. And I'm like, just no. It's just look at that thing and make a film out of it. So, anyways, I'm going to stop at a 5 out of 10. I'll be
As high as I can go.
A little easier. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, too.
I wanted to like
but
it.
But I am saying, guys, if you like Abyss, if you like Leviathan, if you like StarCraft, and you like Warhammer 40K, go and watch it. If you're not in any of those 4 buckets, you can skip it. In fact, if you're in those buckets, you can possibly wait until this thing's on Netflix to get that goodness. But that's it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. You want to join us in the spoilers? You definitely can. And, yeah, we'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Welcome to the spoiler section, guys. I do want to let you know, I didn't know if I should put this in the review section, but we got our Yodelorian stuff up if you want. I'm sure we do. If we don't, then we shortly will.
Yes, coming
we got
soon.
Shirt design,
or
poster design. You guys asked for it. We teamed up with Delgado, who gave us permission. We paid him. He's happy to do it. We're happy to show you. And just awesome art. And so, guys, if you're interested, check out this merch. It's going to be limited edition, this one. And so if you're interested, click those links below. Pick yourself up one. And, yeah, cool. So, I
think this is a prequel to Pacific Rim.
Yes. Atlantic Rim. No, this is the prequel to Atlantic Rim.
Joe's going to say that because
The
he doesn't like
kaiju
Pacific Rim.
comes out.
Okay, so the big reveal
Cthulhu.
is that, yes, it's more Cthulhu than it is kaiju, Joe.
That's just one of them.
Actually, it's a cross between Cthulhu and Kraken.
Or that stupid thing from Solo.
Release the Kraken.
You know that space monster from Solo when he's doing the Kessel Run?
Yep.
It looked a lot like that.
Yep. So those are the 3. So it's revealed. You think that there's just body-sized ones.
Merman.
Double human-sized with tentacles.
Merman.
But no, there's a massive one, and they all sort of not feed on his body, but just
they come out of little pustules. It's disgusting.
right,
Something like that,
or they hang on him, and he sort of leads them. They drilled. They opened up a pocket of an ecosystem in there. Comes out, fucks the station up right away. And environment we shouldn't be drilling. We shouldn't be here.
Getting greedy.
We took too much. We got greedy. Then all the guys die or try to sacrifice himself. That's actually not true. There's one guy that gets knocked out about halfway through. His oxygen gets fucked, and so the women drag him the whole film. And then when they only have 3 pods left, you got Kristen Stewart, you got the science lady, and you got the dude.
And the whole time they're hammering us like, "Oh, you really love him, don't you?" I was like, "I love him.
I kept thinking,
I love him. I love him."
I kept thinking
like,
she was talking about somebody else,
no,
Joe.
That was no.
There was one clue that if you missed, so T.J. Miller hands him a moon pie, and he's like, "You take care of her," because she just says she likes moon pies.
Right.
Get it there together.
And he's gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what's like. I looked over, like you told me, it's like he's gonna die. I was like, I hope he doesn't die because
I want him to live.
I wanted him to live.
He has a stuffed bunny.
Yeah.
I like bunnies.
Yeah,
but here's the thing.
thing.
So he got separate. He was the last one to go through a little under. There was a cart, and they were going through the water, and it goes deeper, and it goes. But so he stayed behind. I was like, oh, he's fucked.
Yeah.
But it didn't make. I mean, there is some fake out here because it's like he was in danger just a scene ago. The first time they go out walking. Well, they managed to make it to an elevator, and this elevator's down, and then it stops they stop it because they hear a distress signal, and they're like, "Let's go save us." Like, look, we are not rated for rescue operations, is what I probably would have said, because I knew there was some shit going down with the fucking sounds and shit. You got to be dumb at this point to not know what's going on. So anyway, they say, no, let's go and help because it could be somebody. So then they send out T.J. Miller and the dude that survives at the end.
Yeah, and he's like, here, take care of the bunny.
Mm-hmm.
I bequeath this to you. I was like, oh.
He did. I mean, the bunny was only there. The reason why, Joe, the bunny's there, so there's something to remember T.J. by. Oh, my favorite character leaves behind
There's
something.
times where he's like blowing on the bunny. He's like, I got my bunny heater going, but he's already given away the bunny at that scene, so they edited it wrong. Plot hole. Huge plot hole.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, too.
I thought he gave it back to him.
No, because then he dies immediately afterwards.
They might have cut that shit.
And then she's petting the bunny. It's like, no.
Wait, what the fuck just happened?
Plot hole.
I don't really want to see it again to confirm, so you guys can see it again. Or if you were paying more attention, you can confirm it for us. Anyways, the creature drags him, blood in
How'd the creature get in there?
Strength. He opened the door.
The station's broken apart, all in lots of different spots.
If it was leaking enough to get a monster through, that thing would have imploded.
Another thing is what else? We have an implosion. We have 2 implosions. The first one was pretty well done and executed. It's the first time they are pressurizing the thing after getting. I know this guy that survives at the beginning that runs with her. And they do the hacking doodad to close the door, put suits on, meet up with everybody else.
He sacrifices himself.
And he gets this helmet, and I think he knows something.
He's staring at it.
He saw the crack.
And he gives it to her. Why he would do that, I don't know. He likes her. Just, he is fucked. He's like, I'll take the defective helmet. Doesn't say nothing. And so he's got his suit on, and when they're depressurizing it depressurizes way too fast. It goes... I'm like, oh, fuck.
He did.
It
was really kind of,
It was really cool. And that's right. The first 20 minutes of this film is so fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's really good.
Nice shots, too. At some point when the station is all shaking and there's explosions, they do this slow-mo shot of Kristen Stewart just, like, falling while there's, sort of, those little sparks and shit. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then there's a half-a-second shot of her eye, opening in blue and red light, very stylistic. Unfortunately, the rest of this, you can't see shit. So, I mean, that's, I think we covered the captain at one. And then, see, when they go on their water walk, it needed to be, I could see a little more. I know you're trying to hide everything. You can hide them. Just dial that like 20% down.
Well, they were also water walking for a really long time, and I know that in the movie time it was a long time, but you can shorten that up or make it more exciting because there's huge stretches where they're walking for a couple minutes and then they stop, and they're literally defenseless because these mermen.
Was there a merman casa? Did you see, there was like a cave casa thing?
Yeah, dragged him in there.
Yeah, was that a merman casa?
I think so.
He made a little house.
He dragged one of the people in there. But the captain eventually, they're on a platform. Creature is being scary with its eyes, and you can't see it, and it's coming. knocks them off the platform. They're like falling and pressurizing, I should say, at the same time. And I knew it was coming. He's like, oh, let me go. And I don't want to let you go. Let me go.
It was a reverse let me go, though, because he's dragging them up so they explode.
Yes. And
she's ascending too fast.
Right. And so he basically, does it for her, makes a decision for her.
And he blows himself up.
And he fucking
implosion.
blows up. Yeah. Was that an implosion or an explosion?
It
was an implosion.
It looked like an explosion afterwards because he definitely explodes.
Blue. Everything's blue.
Yeah. Okay, so finally, our group gets separated after we do this sort of walk, and we think that Kristen Stewart is alone. It was mentioned that there's where do we need to go? How do we get out of this? Well, there's a station here. That station's gone.
Shepherd.
Of course, this comes into play later on.
For no reason, though.
Shepherd Station is not gone. It's there. And they should have done more with this because they explore a locker, and it turns out the captain had a locker there.
And his daughter's been dead, and there's a cool map.
He keeps saying his daughter's 14, and it's because his daughter passed away at 14, but that doesn't really factor in. I thought he was like, oh, shit. I don't really have a daughter. I fucked it up, and like I'm hiding shit. That would have been way better. And then they also have some like maps and shit. It's like they should have done a little bit more with that. But anyway, she uses this area to sort of breathe, and she's like all alone. There's a little bit too much ham-fisted stuff. Where at the beginning, you remember during the beginning 20 minutes they kept saying, the station, if you have any concerns or complaints, while the station's breaking apart, I'm like, shut the fuck up. This is a ridiculous kind of joke. Later on, you got the posters, never work alone. Buddy system works. That kind of stuff.
Against policy.
There's just things, could have been a little bit more clever and it would have worked. So she gets her suit on, basically.
Well, once she's like in there in the Shepherd Station, I thought because she was like an engineer, she pulls out the chainsaw and the thing. I was like, is she going to go like one-on-one?
She's going to have a mech.
I was like, are they going to try to do a Ripley or something in there where she's got the fucking
power loader?
Yes.
It would have been cool.
I honestly thought they were going to do that because she busted out the chainsaw.
They would prefer that than what happened.
I was like, okay,
nothing happened.
Yeah, nothing happened.
It was useless. There was no...
And a gun.
She changed her armor from white to gold, and then she got a flare gun. That's all that happened.
She comes out. She's on her walking by herself alone, but then she hears a radio, and it sounds like the scientist lady's talking to herself as she's dragging the dude.
I love you.
They meet up. They find each other, and then finally, they find a whole nother drill station, the one that they were originally trying to go to. Unfortunately, there's all these little monsters in the doorway, of the grate there. So,
yeah.
They're like tentacles are waving, and
they don't know how to crawl. They don't. They're like you realize you're in the
you can fucking crawl. Yeah. You can even go like this with your fingers, right, and propel yourself past there. Make a very little noise.
Like what are you talking about? Okay.
Yeah, but no, they just. Slam right into each person's tentacle.
Be careful. Hitting everything.
Yeah, and so eventually one of them gets pissed off, and she's like, go. And then,
it swallows her whole.
Swallows her whole. I don't know what the purpose of that is when previously he's been cracking everybody's fucking suits apart, but doesn't crack her suit apart, wants to swallow her whole. And she fires the flare gun.
Strong.
Fires a flare gun right in front of her very sensitive helmet, but okay. And the dude falls over, and then somehow she bursts from his back, and I was like, you're doing a reverse Aliens. Mm-hmm. It's a reverse chest burst. The human bursting from the alien.
Yeah, it was super awesome. But then we see the best part is we see Cthulhu.
Yeah.
And
controls everything.
I didn't care.
So how does Cthulhu factor in? Well, at the end, he's screaming, and he doesn't actually. I didn't understand this part. So she starts running to the door after this thing, and she killed, and the rest of them are like, how dare you kill our friend? And then all of a sudden, oh, shit. And, all the people that are going to kill it. Yeah, he fucks it up. She could have died right there, but he fucks it up. He's like, rah, and he's like, what are you doing? And then there's a big explosion in the background. I have no idea.
He, like, swipes at her or tries to chomp on her. Yeah.
I thought he destroyed the fucking station because I was like, oh, fuck. And so everybody, I guess it was. But he doesn't even mess with the station, even though he's like 15 times the station.
He's still fucking with him because he sees him, and she's like, let's go this way. He's like, nope. let's go this way. Nope.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. So finally she gets in there, and then she sends up the pods because there's only 2, and there's 3 of them. She's like, "You go." So the first guy goes, and he's like, "You go." And the lady is like, "No, I see. No, please." She just punches her in the face.
It was really sweet. Yeah, just
but it's a little more trying to be touching, but we didn't care.
I liked that. I didn't like anything before. Oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, look, the last part of the movie was really kind of bad. Yeah. That was like one bright spot at the end. She's like, "Look, I lost my fiance."
I was saying to myself, just fucking punch her, and she punched her. I was like, all right, good job.
I like that.
So they both fly up, and then she's like, all right, I gotta find a way to like get out of here myself.
Oh, she knew she was dead.
Well, she probably knew she was dead, but she was probably gonna look around until she sees on the radar that the Kraken guy is ordering his little underlings to go after the ships, and she's like, all right, I gotta make sure that these 2. Warning, there are enemies approaching the pods. I was like, you programmed that into your ship, whatever. Anyway, and then she overloads the drill.
This is the only thing she doesn't need to hack, right? Everything else she had to literally take a gun to a door to like make the little thing open so she could hack the door.
But to basically turn the station into a nuclear bomb.
And she's like, well, I'm going to overload this thing and blow up everything. Well, what do I need to do?
All she has to do?
Alt F4.
Swipe up and
swipe
tab.
up.
Yeah.
Swipe up. All 3
Space.
bars
Everyone's
swipes
dead.
up. And she's like monologuing to herself. And I was like, I thought something else was going to happen. I was looking into tying into things, making the theme hit.
You're thinking too much.
And at the beginning of the film, there's a little long daddy, little spider thing that she's like, how did you get here? And instead of smashing it or drowning it under the water, which she thinks about, she stops and she goes, and she helps it. She scoops it up and rises it to where it needs to go. And I thought, well, these 2 pods are going, and she needs to be helped to rise to where I thought maybe, the Kraken was going to be like, you guys, all the rest of you stop fucking with her, I'll help her up. But there was no motivation for him to do that. He's just a dumbass creature, and the whole message of the film is don't fuck with the Earth because these creatures will come up. And what do you do? What do you do with the creatures? Fucking kill them. Yeah, fuck them. And so it's like, wait, are we doing an environmental message here, or we're saying fuck them? Fuck them. So she fucks
Except
them.
for spiders. I mean, spiders are spider bros.
Well,
I mean, come on. You leave them alive.
So I blew up.
Spiders?
And that's it.
I thought you said you're only
fucking dumb,
spaces.
but the suits were fucking cool. So executed for me about half of the things right. Yeah. And that's me trying to be a little bit generous with the sci-fi-ness and stuff like that. All right. Now, Barry, you gave a 4. Very generous would have been that 6. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Click the links below if you want to try those out or check those out. And thank you for supporting the show. We'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show.
Bye guys.